Hello, everyone, and welcome to Wingcat Sports. And it's our weekly Red Wing breakdown. A fantastic week for the Red Wings, getting a winning streak going like we want to see. We'll start from Sunday because I don't know how much we dove into that game. But they beat the Capitals on Sunday last week, the 29th, to start their win streak. 1-4-2. Beat the Penguins on New Year's Eve, 1-4-2. And then they beat the Blue Jackets 5-4 with a last second goal. Not last second, but last 30 seconds. You had Berggren come out of the penalty box and get a nice goal there to win the game. And then you really a statement of the week. You win the Winnipeg, the top team in the NHL, and you beat them in their own building 4-2. Now you're only a game under 500, 2 points out of playoff spot at the beginning of January.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, you can't complain. The start of the McClellan era has been really, really good. I like what I've heard from him. Um, it surprised me that this team, people are like, "Oh, they're not good enough. The players aren't good enough." He's been saying exactly what all of us have been saying, and I've been reading in people's comments. Um, this team is not playing up to its potential. It's just what Eiserman said, just what a lot of us have said. This team is not playing hard. Lalonde was not getting to them. For whatever reason, they just were not, whether it was the system or whatever, they were not putting the effort forward they should have put. And McClellan's gotten something out of them. They're playing looser and maybe having more fun. Certainly having a guy like McClellan and on the bench, the guy knows what he's doing. He's had the experience. He's been around the block a number of times. You got a guy who you can have some confidence in. Maybe Lalonde didn't have that. Maybe Lalonde didn't exude that. But from what I've seen of McClellan, this guy's just no nonsense and just go out and play fucking hockey, like you said.
I mean, the one thing to note through his first 5 games since you started coaching here, the Red Wings have not been outshot, which is something you can't say under the Lalonde era of this team. They're outshot almost every night.
Right.
Now, 5 games through his era of coaching, and you have not been outshot. You have played very good defense from what I've seen, from going to the games to watching them on TV. Your defense is far better than it was under Lalonde. And your offense has woken up. The offense is like it was last year. You're scoring 4 or 5 goals a game, which is what you need to win.
Right.
You need to get that many goals on average to win, because that's what your team relied on last year. You're playing better defense and you put those numbers up, you're good.
Right.
You're doing fantastic.
And players like Kane are starting to look like the player we wanted him to look like. He's looking like he's enjoying being out there again. He's looking like Showtime. He looked totally dead at the beginning of this year. He just did not look like a guy who wanted to be out there, was going through the motions. Now we got to get Tarasenko going.
If you can get him going, I mean, this is kind of the month to get yourself on the right track. This whole week of games, you're not facing amazing teams. The best team you're going to be playing is the one in front of you that you can now tie in the wild card for points. Playing the Senators on Tuesday. They're currently sitting in that final wild card spot, or at least around the final wild card spot at 40 points at the making of this video. I mean, I could be completely wrong as I peek at the standings real quick and make sure that is right. And it's not. Now it's 41 points, and you're 3 points out of a wild card spot. But anyway, still close to it. But you're playing Ottawa, who's one of the teams in front of you who can now tie up, and you'll be 500. Then you're going to go play Chicago on Friday. Shouldn't have a problem against Chicago. Then you're going to play the Kraken on Sunday. And because I won't be able to make a video until I get back from the west side of the state, we'll talk about the Tuesday game next week too, which is against the Sharks.
Yeah,
that's a very favorable week for you to get yourself even more on track.
3 wins out of that.
You should get 3 wins out of those 4. And before you have a little bit of a tough stretch after that, you have a stretch of Panthers, Lightning, and Stars. Well, Panthers, Lightning, Stars, Flyers on a road trip.
Woo,
after that.
Be a tough one.
So there's your little challenge. And then you're going to come home and play the Canadians, Lightning, Kings, and then your end of month in Western Canada facing the Oilers. But that is, I'm not. It's a favorable month, and you're still going to have some challenges to prove yourself to kind of get yourself on track.
Yeah.
You should very well with how you're playing end this month at 500.
The goal should be to be above 500. I think.
You're currently one game under 500. I don't see a problem. Like if you win your next four, right? That road trip is not going to be easy. You might be able to sneak one or two wins out of that road trip. Before you come back home, and you should be able to win a couple of your home games before you head on the Canadian trip. You should. It's going to be a back and forth month, I think, with how the play is going to go. But again, you went to Winnipeg and proved me wrong. You played very well against Winnipeg and won there easily.
Right.
And
well, no one expected them to beat the Jets, but I think, like I said, you see a new attitude with the team, and you're hoping this continues. Leadership plays a part. Having that coach back there is a big deal. And hopefully they found somebody that they can build on. I still think Eisman needs to make a move or two, and we'll see what happens there.
Yeah, I mean, we'll see. I mean, there is, like, again, the rumors that we kind of talked about last week that there might be trading with Buffalo for somebody. Still don't know who, but that's been in the talks that maybe there's a trade.
Jonathan Taves.
For something. I don't know why he's talking about Jonathan Taves coming. Let's hire.
I've heard his name, Papa.
Let's sign a 39-year-old winger.
He's 36. He's the same age as Kane.
Yeah, that's what we need to add to the team.
And he's had a whole year to get healthy.
I don't. What are we signing the Stanley Cup Blackhawks?
Yeah.
Is that basically what you're doing? You're signing the Stanley Cup Blues and the Stanley Cup Blackhawks.
You got Kane, you got the Brinket. Go talk to them, see what they think.
You don't have. I don't know where you put them in the lineup. Where are you going to put them in the lineup?
We're going to have to get rid of some people.
Who are you getting rid of?
Oh.
Exactly. You don't know who we get rid of. We're not going to sign John.
Get rid of Berggren for
no.
A 23-year-old for a 30.
No, there's no. You just keep on going what you're doing. They're playing well. The Lions are playing well. They should win at least 3 out of the next 4. They should. Ottawa will be their challenge, and then Blackhawks, Kraken, and Sharks. You should outplay them. They all have losing records. The best team out of those 3 is the Kraken, with the same amount of wins as you. But the way you're playing, you should handle the Kraken.
Yes.
You should, but we'll see what ends up happening.
Yep. All you can do, like I said, from here on out, it's hard. Predicting is kind of just silly because what are you going to do? I don't know what team is going to show up. They could beat anybody. They could beat anybody.
You could
if they put the effort forward. So
that's the great thing about hockey.
McClellan's job is to get these guys motivated, to get these guys out there and at the right level. And
these next 4 games won't be the games where you can tell how good they are or not at the moment under McClellan. It's going to be your road trip coming up when you're going to Florida and Dallas and Philly. That will be where you're going to see, because obviously Florida and Tampa are up on top, right? They're the top of our division. They're playing well. They're playoff teams. Stars, another good team out west, and then Philly, who's also fighting for a playoff spot right now. That is going to be your tough road trip right there to kind of prove yourself. You're still sitting near the bottom of the division, but that's because overall the hockey is pretty even right now.
It's hard to make headway.
Yeah, right now you're at 38 points. You lose 3 games. Buffalo wins 3. Now you and Buffalo have swapped spots. Buffalo was a playoff team last week almost. Now they're last place in the East, in the whole entire East.
It's crazy, right? You can turn this thing around pretty quick.
Look at the Rangers.
You still got time.
They were winning.
The Rangers are the biggest.
Rangers were winning the Metropolitan, and then they
fell. They were like cup favorites at the beginning of the
year. Everybody's jumping around. Montreal was at the bottom. Now they're 2 points out of playoff spot. You were at the bottom at one point. Now you're 3 points. It's moving around a lot, and there hasn't been any solidification to the wild card. Not that it should in January be solidified to who your front runners are, but usually it's not this coveted in a division or in even a side of the league where it's one team could fall in 1 week to the last spot,
right,
of the side. Because even in the West. Because the West, you can look at the West. 28 points is where Chicago's at. That's almost 20 points. away from uh the last wild card spot. It's 44, so it's like 15 around there, like halfway.
Are they
14
having
one
another atrocious year?
or 16 points away or whatever it
What's their
is.
record?
Chicago, they're 13, 25, and 2,
That's awful.
which ties San Jose basically and Nashville, all at 13 wins. Whatever happened to
How can
Nashville?
Nashville? I mean, they're the ones that got Stamkos, right?
They're the ones that got Stamkos.
They're the ones that make those.
They're the
big
ones
deals.
they're the ones that signed that great offense. They put a great team on paper just to falter and suck.
Embarrassing.
I mean, it's bad. I mean, I don't know what to say about them. Then everyone else is still fighting for the playoff spot, right?
So maybe Yzerman's smarter than we think. Just be patient. Keep building through the draft. Eventually, we'll get there.
But what is that? Hopefully, we got a good week, 3 wins at least, and then you'll be above 500. But with all that being said, if you like what you see, like, comment, subscribe, share the video around. Let me know what you think about how the Wings have been doing. And until next time, see everybody soon.